Hello there everybody, good day to you and welcome. This is the secondary channel. My primary channel is called Rainman Ray's Repairs. For those of you who have found yourselves here organically and did not come through a hyperlink or other type of mention. The reason I'm putting this video on the second channel is we're not going to do how do I want to describe this? We're not going to do the normal type of work that you'll find in the first primary channel, but what we are going to do is a little bit of improvement repair work on this freshly rebuilt-ish 3.6 liter Pentastar engine. Now this engine's got kind of a history to it. Well, not this particular one, but the van that this engine is going into kind of has some particular history to it. I'm gonna have to send you guys back to those videos over on the primary channel if you'd like to learn what's going on with this situation. But we've got a new sort of ish rebuilt engine. This came from the I Do Cars YouTube channel in St. Louis, Missouri, and it is here in Bradenton, Florida, to be installed in that Town and Country van you guys just saw on the lift over there. But before that goes in, we need to prep this thing a little bit. And what I'm going to do in order to prep this and improve this so it doesn't blow up on the family for a second time, because that one over there blew up spectacularly. In order to prevent this from blowing up a second time, we're installing some upgraded Dorman parts to increase the longevity and reliability of this engine. And one of those components is going to be the engine oil cooler located below this lower intake manifold. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you guys how to remove and install the upgraded engine oil cooler for the 3.6 liter Pentastar engine. Now, it should be known, or it should be said, that this operation is slightly more difficult when the engine is in the vehicle, but I'm getting off easy by being able to do it here on the ground outside of my shop on a pallet. So let's go ahead and get started. I have the replacement components already in a box. They've been waiting here longer than the engine's been here. We can see we've got a set of seals and gaskets for the manifold. Those don't count. We have hardware, an oil filter cap, which is orange in color to alert service people that the upgrade has been performed. We've got the actual cooling element here. See, we got passages for oil to flow in and out of, and then it's sort of like a heat sink with surface area here to dissipate the heat. Got a filter in a box, and of course the oil filter cooler housing assembly, which also houses the actual engine oil filter. So what we're going to do is pull that lower intake manifold off, pop that whole assembly out of the intake valley, remove it, clean everything up, and then we're going to install the upgraded Dorman version of this Chrysler engine oil cooler. Okie doke. So this thing is not fully bolted on all the way. There's just a couple bolts holding this intake on, because Eric knew that I was going to pull this thing off to replace this cooler, so it's not on there super firm. So not all of the bolts are tight to spec, which is good, because I had a hard enough time getting into this box as it was, due to the superb quality of the packaging here. It was fantastic, I'll tell you what. I think we're loose. Yep. So this lower manifold, that's going to bring the fuel injectors and the fuel rails with it. See that right there? Set this guy aside. And what is revealed to us is the engine oil cooler housing assembly down in the valley. Let's see here. Uh-oh. I feel compelled to do a walnut carbon cleaning on this. It's kind of nasty in there. Just a little bit. I've seen worse, but this one's, yeah, it's a little dirty. Okay. Let's see, these valves are open right now. Yeah, a little carbony. Those are closed up, kind of carbony. That one's a little carboned up. Yep. Okay, so not only are we doing the oil cooler on this, I'm gonna go in here and walnut blast all these valves apart while this is here. and get all this nice and super duper clean and shiny inside. So it looks like this is going to be a different video of a different kind of video on a different channel. That's weird, yeah. Oh, that's not coming off very easily now, is it? Come here, connector. Get a little pocket screwdriver this thing out of here. How are we? There we go. Snap that back. Snap back. Okay, we've got an engine oil cooler, or an oil temp sensor. I think it's temper pressure, and one of these is a coolant temp sensor as well. Now, not all the coolers have all the sensors on them. Okay. Yeah, this thing looks like it's been leaking too. I see a bunch of oil residue down there. And that's what they do. They leak, and then this whole valley will pool up full of oil, and then it'll overflow in the back and then run down the sides of the transmission. So you think you have a rear main seal leak, but what you really have is an engine oil cooler leak. And we're gonna need, looks like it inverted Torx to get those guys out of there. Okay, let's go get the socket. We'll pull this thing out, wipe it down, get the new one in, and then we're gonna tape off these holes here, and I'm gonna go in there with a walnut blaster and clean this out before we get this engine ready for assembly. All right, let me rephrase, that's part of the engine assembly. Okie doke, so we've got the inverted Torx socket here. It's a little star shape. So we'll pull these guys out. Unclicks. I think it's just 5 fasteners. 5, why not 6? Well, because then it wouldn't leak, right? Maybe there is 6. Nah, it's just 5. There we go. And I think, yeah, we're all set here. That's what was holding us up, that little siliconed in O-ring thing right there. It's all flattened out. Makes you wonder why they leak. There's one of the gaskets. 2 of the gaskets. And I think we're good in here. That is that. So let's go get that new one out of the box and get it prepped for installation. Look at that plasticky business right here. That's no good. We'll move that. It's a fuel injection pump for a Ford. Let us compare and contrast the 2 units here. So there's our new one. Everything looks like it's matching up properly. A little bit shorter on the snout, no big deal. There's the cooler and the sensors. So it looks like these guys have to be transferred over into this unit. All right, so I think the first thing we need to be doing here is getting a hold of all of our seals and gaskets. Now, I've heard through the grapevine that one should order the Mopar gasket set when installing the Dorman cooler assembly. I've installed, me personally, probably 20 or 30 of these things in the past few years, and I've always used the Dorman gaskets and have not really found that to be a problem. So I'm not going to order another set of gaskets for it. I think it'll be okay. I mean, this might be the one time where I kind of shoot myself in the foot and my big mouth gets me in trouble, but I don't believe I need to go as far as to change out the gaskets with the OE set. It probably couldn't hurt, but it also may not be necessary. And maybe there's folks out there that have had a different experience than mine. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to use what came in the box, because if you start doing everything extra, when do you stop? You know what I mean? You got to come to some kind of a stopping point. Anyway, we've got some fasteners to attach the cooler to the housing body. So let's get these guys out. These are regular Torx fasteners. See the little star shape right there? So the Other fasteners were E-Torx, or inverted, and these are standard Torx. Let's get that guy screwed in nice like. Two more to go. There. And that little guy, kind of worried about that little guy. Okay, that's in. Let me find my tool. We'll give this some preliminary torque on it and tighten it down. Okay, let's switch out our inverted Torx with a regular Torx, like so. And I'm also going to throw a little bit of thread lock on these little threads right here, because there's really no good reason to take this apart again and service it. So we're going to give it some good old Loctite treatment. A little dab right there. 2. There we go. So we have some Loctite here. Let's go ahead and apply some preliminary torquages. And tighten this down until that flange is flush with the housing body. Click. Oop, I hit you guys with my cooler. Okay, so that guy has now been tightened down, looking good. Let's go ahead and transfer over our sensing elements. These two, this guy, and I do not think I have to utilize any of the plugs that plug the holes. I think we're good. Alrighty, let's get these sensors pulled out of here. Let's give it an unclick. Oh, that was in there. Dang, that one's tight. Maybe if I stand on it. There we go. Hope that other one's not tighter. Now you guys will notice there's some sealant in here on these sensors. Usually when you buy a sensor, it'll come with some kind of sealant on the threads. I don't have any of that sealant, and I don't have any pipe dope, and I don't know if that reacts well to engine oil or not, so I'm just going to use a different kind of sealant. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. We'll get to that in just a momento here. Let's get this next sensor removed. That one's easier. Yeah, see all that red business in there? That's some thread sealant. So this is our oil pressure sender right here. So what I'm going to do to reseal that, can't do that. I'm going to take this used up old bottle of gasket maker. See right here, it's all super hardened and dried out. And we're going to cut a little slit in the side of the bottle. Squeeze out whatever's left, the good stuff, and smear it just ever so thinly on those threads. So now when I thread this back in, there will be sealant on said threads, like so. Screw that guy back in. Let's make it kind of tight. Now, unlike how we found it, I'm going to put the connector face facing up if at all possible. The threads might tighten up and it won't allow me to do it, but if I can, I'll stop this at the very top. That way, in case there is the next guy, I don't have to fight with disconnecting the connector. And we're starting to get a little tight. I I think I can get away with one more rotation. Getting more tighter. And connector pointed upwards, like so. We're into the red, and all of that fresh sealant that I just installed is starting to kind of stick its way out. It's squishing out a little bit, so that's a good seal. We shall repeat with the other sensor that I just lost. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. It's hiding out. So let's take a towel here and wipe off some of this if we can. The dried schmoo. This one is coolant temperature. So same thing, we'll squeeze out some sealant there. That'll do. Time for more torque. That one's getting tight, so we're gonna come around, cut. Okay, that one's starting to feel pretty tight. We're gonna bring it around a little bit more, just so the sensor is at the top and right about there. Anymore, I'm gonna yield the thing and break it. That felt pretty good. Okay, sensors are on, good to go. O-ring, 1, 2, 3, 3 more O-rings here, and we can get this thing set down inside the engine. But I would like to go in and wipe down the engine oil passages in the block first real quick if I can. Sometimes you end up getting little bits of debris right there in the hole, and I just need to make sure that hole is nice and clear. Alrighty, I think we're good. Okay, good to go. Let's drop this unit down in position here and get her bolted in. Put that back. They fell out. I think we're good, ready to rock and roll. So, back to the engine we go. Oh, you know what? I would like to put some lubricant on that O-ring right there. Stand by, hang on. A little dab of engine oil right here. I could have used like RTV or petroleum jelly or things of that nature, but I had oil handy, so I'm going to use that. O-rings are good. You gonna go in there? We're going to wiggle that O-ring down. It is seated. We are in position. We're good here. Looking down inside, making sure the O-rings didn't fall out. I don't see them. let's get the fasteners and bolt this thing down. There's a couple, I think that's all. Yep, just the inverted torques. I'm starting all of the threads before applying any torque. Flashlight. You see how the thing's rocking side to side? Similar to how the actual cooler part did. That's the gaskets being compressed. Beautiful. All right, I'll torque wrench you later. Let's get the filter and the filter cap installed next. Oh yeah, the plug that I did not need. See the sealant? Needs some oil. Okay, 24mm socket on a 3/8 drive ratchet that is actually 1/4 inch drive sized. Perfect for these little things. Stop, do not proceed without reading. Okay. And we turn it till it stops. A little bit extra, we're good. So the O-ring is what makes the seal, not how tight the cap is. You don't have to tighten the daylights out of things like that because the cap does not seal the oil. Fun fact. Okay, so soon we're gonna go in here and walnut blast these valves and get them nice and super clean and shiny and get rid of all that carbon. See all that? It's everywhere. But what I wanted to do was get it one more good kind of close-up pic, or video rather, or shot, image, words, of all the carbon in here, okay? So that's 3 of them. Now this one, you'll see how the valves are open. You guys see that? These ones, they are open. But fear not, because when I go to clean this one out, we can go to the crankshaft, turn the engine over, and it will then close those valves. Make sense? Good. Yeah, that one's nasty. And this one, also quite nasty. Okay. Okay, first things first, since this cylinder had the valves that were open, I'm going to shove a shop towel in there. That way, none of the debris or the walnut chunks can make their way inside of the combustion chamber. I forgot to say loud noises, sorry guys. So anyway, I need the air line. I have unpacked the affectionately named yellow R2D2 machine, and this is the walnut blaster. Some of you guys have seen this before, and some of you may have never seen this particular tool here in the arsenal. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how this works. It's kind of like a shop vac. See, it's got a vacuum hose. What makes it different from a shop vac is there's a little air pressure port where we can connect shop air from the compressor. So we'll put air pressure to it, and looking inside, we'd see we've got our regular kind of, vacuum cleaner shop vac motor. then there's this little filter, and inside is a bunch of walnut shell and leftover carbon from previous carbon cleanings. The way this will work is the vacuum is always vacuuming from inside the chamber, so it's trying to pull the walnut back in through the tube. The bottom section of this is pressurized, and it sends the walnut out through this hose, which is also connected to shop air. When we squeeze the trigger, the air is going to blast past this little tube right here, and it's going to create a negative pressure, like a carburetor, a venturi, if you will. And that venturi will suction up the walnut from inside of the tank and then collect it in the high pressure airstream and then blast it out of the end, and we will blast that walnut into these valves, or valve faces, or intake ports rather. We'll blast them into the cylinder heads, and it will remove all the carbon, while simultaneously we'll be vacuuming up said carbon with the vacuum side of the tool. And so we get to continue to reuse the walnut, and we get to media blast the thing into complete perfection and cleanliness. So let's go ahead and get started. There won't be really much to see except for the before and after, because all you're really going to see is the gun and me shoving the gun in the hole, trying to vigorously clean the situation at hand here. But I'll try my best to make this as entertaining as possible for you guys. Loud noises, I'm turning on the fan, vacuum, motor, whatever. Okay, so real quick, let's just give this a blast and you guys can see the walnut flying out of there. Watch this. You guys see that? It's going to be highly effective. So what we do, we take the vacuum side, put the wand through the hole, sticks out through the other end, then we can hold the vacuum and the wand over the port in question and blast away all that carbon that's built up in there. So loud noises, firing up the fan, vacuum. Oh, it's working. Ooh, nice and shiny-ish in there. That one needs some more love. It was pretty nasty. Much more better. Okay, 2 more to go before I'm going to turn the engine over. Go around here to this side. That didn't work. That didn't work. Nothing worked. Nothing worked.
in there. We're trying to get behind the valve stem.
Beautiful. I think we're good here, guys. Much more better. Here, let me shut this thing down. Let's go in for a little closer look. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let's turn on the appropriate illuminator. Now I will get all those walnut pieces out of there. This one needs more attention. See the back of the back side there, there's a bunch of carbon. That one needs cleaned up some more. Check. Yeah, that one's a little better. This side, that one needs hit on the back side again. Yeah, these all need a little bit more time on them. Yeah, look at the backs of the valves. See that? That's the hardest place because you have to get the walnut to swirl around the back side of that. That's why we still have, oh, there's a boatload left in this one. Look at all that. Okay, time for round 2. Full beans. All right, I'm not gonna record round 2. I'll just check back in when we're ready to get that last hole done, okay? Sweet. All right. Okay, blowgun coming in, loud noises. Turn that off real quick, like. Okay, going in. Let's take a look. A little bit more carbon up there in the right corner in the back. Missed some. That one looks good. This one's fantastic in there, nice and spotless like. The other side. That looks great. That one looks wonderful, but there's still some walnut left over. See it right there? Can't have that. This one, that one looks good, but row back there, look at there. There's still some carbon on that valve. I gotta hit that one again. And this one, a little bit more carbon up there at the top left-hand corner. Yeah, not bad. Hit it a couple more times, and then we'll roll it around and get that last cylinder right there. Okay, off camera, I got this one, and that one cleaned out. They've been blown out. I threw some brake clean in there, hosed it off. So those valves are all intake runners, forgive me. Those are all super duper spotless clean. I'm gonna go ahead and plug these ports up. That way no debris can make its way into the hole. We're gonna blow these ones out, and then I'll clean up that last number 6 position in a moment. That one's got more carbon on it. I see it on top of the valve. Going back in. Yeah, I've been doing this for probably about an hour and a half now. So what you guys are seeing is like the synopsis version. The actual long version takes a lot more diligence and closer attention to detail. I need one more quick hit on both of those valves actually. They're both a little carbony at the seat. Right there. Send it. This one right here. Much more better. Brilliant. Blow it out again with some air. That one looks great. Throw some brake clean in it. Vacuum. Brake clean pressure washer. That one's spotless. So throw a towel on that one. We'll rinse and repeat on that one, and then we'll roll the engine around, close those valves, and get that last one again. Okay, another shop towel. That port is completely cleaned out, and some brake clean in that one. Shiny. Also nice and shiny. Okay, one more towel. Now we can blow off all the walnut around here, because you don't want it going in there and going into the cylinder, right? Nope. Okay, so now that we've got the towel removed, let's go ahead and grab a ratchet and a 27 mil, I think it is. We'll bar this engine over, get those valves to close up, and then we'll clean out that last. Okay, I've got a 27 mil socket right here on a big ratchet. We're just gonna put that right here on the crank, turn this engine around and bar it over until we can see that those valves right there are closed. So in order to see what we need to see, we have to be able to see, right? What we're gonna do, and that's nasty in there. Here, you guys, I think I'm out of battery. Yeah, I need a new light. Trying again. Oh, that's way more brighter. Okay, so you guys keep an eyeball on those valves in there, and I'm gonna spin this around. Still can't see a dang thing. What is this? I'll spin this guy around until everybody's nice and closed. Sound good? Good. There. That's what we were trying to, I still can't see. Okay, turning the engine. Slowly turning the engine. Here we go, we're closing up. Closing up some more. And fully closed. There we go. Okay. Yep, both valves are closed. Let's blast it. I'll take my air pressure back. Gravity. Okay, let's see what we have in the hole. It's a bajillion times more nicer. Check that out. Gorgeous. Okay, a little bit of brake clean in there, and I think this one's gonna be good to go. Let's get it sprayed, rinsed out, cleaned up. We'll be all set here. There we go. I don't feel like blasting brake clean everywhere, so I'll use the vacuum. You guys saw that earlier. Woo, buddy. And look at that. Dave's got that engine out. Well, Dave and Justin, he helped. See, Dave's still here. You guys keep asking where Dave is. They're like, where's Dave? And I'm like, Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here.
But Dave's always here. He's totally always here. They think you're like not here. They think you're gone. Yeah, we got it out, or Dave got it out. I was over there doing other stuff. Whole subframe, engine, transmission, suspension, power steering, exhaust, you name it. Come try it out. But hey, look, that ABS module is going to be easy to change. It's just hanging out right there. Nice. Alrighty, that one is done. Let's give it the blue towel treatment, just keep it all clean. And we have completed the intake valve runner carbon cleaning procedure. So this is all set for now. I'm not going to put this intake manifold back on that engine because we're going to reuse the other intake manifold off the other one, or old engine over there. I think that one has new injectors in it or something like that. So we're just going to reuse most of the hardware that's already on the vehicle, and we're going to try to not use a bunch of the stuff that came from this donor engine, just in case there's any subtle differences in components. Anyway, guys, I think I have nothing more to offer you on this particular video. Let me know what you think about this engine and this procedure and this whole project as a whole in the comment section down below. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button while you're down there. And most importantly, do not forget to have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video in a 3.6 carbon cleaning procedure with the accompanying Dorman upgraded oil cooler assembly in a day, in a video, in a transmission.